Okay, it's been a while. Welcome back to my channel, who is Life Lab, where I share to you about studying, dating, and life experience in general. Feel free to adopt anything you feel relatable and disregard anything that you don't agree with me. Okay, so the topic of today's video is about a mistake I used to have when I go out on dates. So my mistake is that I completely believe what the girl says about their dating standards. Or for some girls, if they put the standards on their profile, dating profile, I will read them like a fucking Bible and like completely trust the standard they have written on their profile. So um, this is kind of a mistake because um, based on my experience, those standards they talk about, you just listen to them and yeah, like leave it there. You maybe for some reference value, but don't completely trust the words come out their mouth. So why do I say this? So let's come back to the reason why you ask about the standard. Okay, I think for most of the time, when you ask someone about their dating standards, it's usually when you have already developed some sort of uh, interest in that person. So you start to like this person and you wonder, I wonder if I match with this girl's standard, right? So if you match her standard, okay, congratulations. Maybe there's a high chance that you guys will become boyfriend and girlfriend in the future. But what if you don't match with her standards? Is it the end? Is it like the end game for you? Um, for many people, they may think that, oh shit, like I don't match her standard. This is the end for me. Uh, but based on what I experience, I don't see that is the case at all. Um, because based on the standard they talk about, there are must have standards and there are nice to have standards. So for example, when you ask a girl about the standard, so what are your dating standard? What qualities does your future boyfriend should have? Um, the women, the girl will be very likely to say like 10 different standards, right? But let me tell you this: to find anyone that have only 5 of those qualities is a hard task. Not even the 10 qualities that the girl is requiring. That's like impossible. Even if the girl can find someone with those 10 qualities, is she sure that the guy will like her? Or even if she liked the guy at all, like having those 10 qualities is a thing, but it doesn't equal to her emotions. So yeah, finding anyone who match with her standards completely is kind of like finding a unicorn. That is impossible. Even the girl herself knows about this. That is just her fantasy, and she knows that, right? But she has the right to dream, okay? So, among those 10 qualities, there will be like 2 or 3 qualities that are the must haves. Her potential future boyfriend must have those qualities for her to develop feelings for him. And the other qualities, the other 7 to 8 qualities, they are kind of nice to have. The guy can have it if he has those qualities. Like, it's fun for everyone. But if he doesn't have it, it's not a big deal. So now the question shift from asking your dates about her standards, from recognizing her must have and nice to have standards. Okay, So how do we recognize which standard is must have, which standard is nice to have? Um, from my experience, the way that you can realize this is you observe her actions very closely. Like the standards that they talk to you, that they say to you, are just their ideal scenario. The real standard that they use to filter out their future boyfriend or girlfriend lies in their actions. So it's kind of a abstract definition. So let's give you some example. Um, usually, so this example is a example of a nice to have standard, but disguised as a must have standard. So maybe more than half a year ago, I met a girl on the dating app. She came from the same university as me, so she texted me that she doesn't want to date males from my university because they are all bad guys. And I was like, oh, so maybe this is a an unspoken standard of this girl. uh, it's just I don't know that if this standard is a must have or a nice to have. And a few days later, after texting back and forth, she agreed to uh, went out and met me on a date. So through this example, you can see that her, she, even though she said that she didn't want to date someone uh, who was in the same school, same university with her, but her action is that she still agreed to went out on a date with me for the first time. So you can see that not dating someone who was in the same university as her is just a nice to have standard. She will willingly break this standard if she saw someone who had the potential to become her future boyfriend. So that date was kind of fun, but unfortunately it fails. So that is one example. The second example is that you are the outlier in the standard. Um, Usually it comes to uh, this phenomenon usually happens with women. Um, it's very common for guys uh, to hear the phrase that, oh my god, I have never dated someone like you before. Maybe you are very humorous, maybe you are very ambitious or something like that, but the women will say something like that, like you are very special, you are different from the people they usually date. So the knee-jerk reaction here from the guys is usually like, oh fuck, like I'm different from the people who she usually dates with, so maybe this is a sign that this won't go well. But based on my experience, you need to feel happy because you are special enough for her to break her own pattern to go out on a date with you. That is a very good opportunity, right? Be confident. Because she agrees to go out on a date with you, it means that she is giving you a chance to pursue her, to court her, right? On the contrary, if the women um, often says to you that, oh, you're such a good man, you have such good qualities, your future girlfriend would be so lucky to be with you, and I would love to hang out with you sometime. But whenever you reach out to ask her out on a date, she like always refuse. Like maybe due to her busy schedule, maybe her health, maybe her dogs. I don't know. It shows you through action that she doesn't like you at all. If she likes you, you guys will go out on a date from 8 years ago. The last question is no. The last example is um, when a person say that they want something, but they are attracted to uh, their own archetype in the mind. So this is a method I use to uh, know about my friends' romantic standard. So I have one friend. Let's call him John. Um, so John had a rough first love. Like, I'm not gonna lie, based on what he told me, his girlfriend was kind of childish and weren't very sympathetic towards him. At that point, he broke up, and I just thought that, oh, like, it's unfortunate for both of them. Maybe they didn't know how to find a suitable boyfriend or girlfriend for them yet. But the second girlfriend that John has right now, she's a mess. She's even worse than his first girlfriend. Like, she's extra unsympathetic and she's extra childish. So as you can see, my friend John, his mouth says that he wants to find someone less childish and more sympathetic, but his action is in contrast to his statement. So it means that the standard of having a girlfriend who is sympathetic and not childish is just a nice to have to him. The moment he saw someone that attracts him romantically, he will kick out the standard so fast that he repeated his own pattern. So, to summarize all of this, a dating standards for a person can, like, no to summarize this, a person can have like tons and tons of dating standard, like maybe 10, 20, or 30. Your task is trying to find out among those standards which are the must have and which are the nice to have. So how can you do this? You do this by observing their actions. The actions will tell you exactly what is their must have standard. Only use their words for like reference value, like at face value. Don't trust their words completely. um, but saying like that is not saying I don't mean that all of what I say is a lie. Maybe they don't even know that. It's just they don't aware that their words and their action don't match with one another. And one more caution for you, like, this principle is only it only works when you interact with that person for a long time, maybe for a few days at least, and maybe a few dates. Okay, don't just go out on a date and look at what they do and like, this is like a must-have standard for you. No, you need to see an action multiple times before confirming that it is a must-have standard. Okay, so I hope that you find this video useful. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.